That was really nice. Welcome back everyone, and a happy new year to you all. What a fun make that was. The beach is just so beautiful, and I'm so happy to have beech in my life. What I like about beech is the medullary rays, or the freckles in the wood, if you like. That sort of shimmer as the spoon twists and turns. You might have clocked also earlier that the beech was completely frozen when I was trying to split it, so it made my life a little bit hard, but it was quite awakening, I guess, for the first make of the new year. I've made quite a few of these in the past, and I really enjoy making them, mainly because they embody the knife grips that I particularly enjoy about spoon carving. It also has an element of trial and error, getting it to sit upright and nicely, but it also has this really indulgent taper. Indulgent for me because I tend to get lost in the carving of it. It really flows through to the bowl, and I get a lot of enjoyment and a lot of energy release in watching those shavings just pirouette away. So for enjoyment reasons, I thought it was quite fitting to kick the year off with something like this. There's something quite stoic about it, I guess quite sculptural. Now I find it quite easy to carve quite complex spoons, but challenging to carve simple silhouettes. And that's mainly because there's nowhere to hide, and everything's got to line up. The rim in particular, for me, has to be very consistent around the edge. And there's an element where I feel like it needs to be almost purposefully simple, and purposefully naive, and purposefully playful. And so despite being quite simple, I can spend probably 2 or 3 times the amount of time carving this than any other spoon, really. I've been getting quite a lot of comments of people feeling really inspired to try carving at home and to welcome green woodworking into their lives, which is fantastic. I didn't really want these videos to be tutorial focused, but I want them to be a way where I can invite you into the process and have you look over my shoulder if you like. But I know that some people might want to try and carve this spoon at home. I've got a couple of tips that might be useful. The first is mainly like a safety one. So you're working quite close to your hand, and it is quite a fussy shape with a very steep transition from neck to bowl. But also the hollow is quite hard to get right because it's consistently shallow, which is probably one of the more difficult hollows to carve. My advice is, on the knife grips, you'll notice, and especially in the bowl when I'm hollowing it, is that my knife doesn't follow through. It stays on the spoon itself, and that minimizes any need really for the knife to follow through into my thumb. And I'm focusing on a sweep that involves my shoulder to create a bigger radius so I can get a lot more control coming through the hollow. I hope that makes sense. Secondly, it's more of a design element. Now, one of the more frustrating things to get right with spoon carving, especially if you're spoon carving for the first time, is symmetry. Now, with my shapes, I don't really strive for symmetry. I quite like pebbles and not circles. But you might find that spoons that align with the neck in the middle of the width of the bowl look a bit more pleasing to the eye. Now, you might like it being completely off-center, but if you are looking for that symmetry, my advice there is to leave the neck quite thick and align the spoon by taking material from the neck rather from the bowl. So you keep your bowl a nice consistent shape to the way you want it, and then look for symmetry by reducing from either left or right of the neck to bring it into the center line. And then lastly, another tricky element, especially of a spoon like this, is the transition from bowl to neck in this little neck pocket just here. My advice here is to use the tip of the knife slowly. No one carves spoons to speed up their life, it's all about slowing down. I like to imagine an exhale as you carve with the tip of the knife, and you're trying to create a twist of your wrist that mimics the shape of that transition, of that curve. So those are my 3 tips to carve a spoon like this at home if you wanted to try it yourselves. If you do get stuck, just give me an email or drop a comment below and I will do my best to advise. As always, thank you so much for watching, thank you for your support. I really hope you have a wonderful entry into the new year. There will be more videos, so don't forget to subscribe below. I think for now I'm gonna go warm up at home, probably with a nice cup of tea. Thank you so much. Goodbye.